So I've had a request to basically do a video on the setup of a hand plane and also the sharpening process. And first things first, once you've got everything taken off, so you've got your iron, your lever cap here and your chip breaker, you'll be left with the frog on the body. Now there's two screws that you can undo here to make sure that this part here aligns perfectly with the sole of your planer. Okay, so what you can do, loosen the screws, and there's a screw at the back of your planer typically that will push and pull on the frog. And once that's aligned, tighten the screws down. So next thing we do is try and make sure as much as possible that the rust is cleared, and on the chip breaker that that's nice and smooth, because we want that to make good contact with the iron. Okay, I'll show you quickly, we'll bring you a bit closer. An easy method on sharpening your iron. So what you do is typically you'll have a set angle on here between 25 and 35 degrees. So stick your iron onto a whetstone or a diamond stone or anything you have and roll it up until you see there's contact. There, you've got your angle, okay? So go at that angle, backwards and forwards, and just keep it going. You can do little figure of 8 motions just to put even wear on your stone. And because I've previously sharpened this on my Tormek, not everyone has a Tormek, so there's a bevel that's ground at it's got a bit of a radius in it. But what we need to do is just work on getting that tip nice and shiny, and we need a burr of metal consistently across the back. So we're good for half of it, but we still need a little bit more. Okay, so once you've got a nice consistent burr of metal on the back of your iron here, just lay it flat on the stone and just drag it back once. That will take most of the burr off, and then we strop it on some leather. So here's my leather strop. It's on a handle so you can strop without needing to drag it on a flat surface. So we strop it a good few times, and then on the back, and what we're looking to do is just make sure that we see that it's nice and sharp, and also that burr has been removed. So sometimes it takes stropping from both sides until you see that little burr disappear. So we're good there. Now we've got the blade sharpened, it's nice and sharp. What we need to do is assemble this back together. So first things first, we put these two components together. A little bit of friction there. And what we want to do is when we put it all together, we want to make sure that this part here, where the tip of the iron meets the chip breaker, you want it about 1.5 millimeters or 1/16 of an inch. So roughly about there. So make sure that it's parallel with the tip of the iron. Once it's there, we tighten it down nice and firm. Okay, so that's ready to go into the plane. And once that's in, we get our lever cap, place it in, and just adjust the screw, just like this. So when we tighten it down, that there's just a good amount of friction, not too much, but not too little. Okay, that's perfect, already set up, but it doesn't take too much effort to push the lever cap down. So you can lift it up and put it back down, and it will hold the iron in place nicely. Okay, so now we have to make sure that this is flat and level. So we look down the sole of the plane, and I can see that it's higher on this side than this side. So we move the lever at the back, we move it so it's parallel and consistent. Okay, and that is how you set it up. Now it's good to keep it nice and clean and polished. Maybe use a bit of wax on the bottom, or if you've got a rag in a can, you can just run that over and wipe the excess off. So now let's use it. I've got a scrap of ash here, and I'm just going to show you quickly. Nice, good, firm, strong grip and a good stance. And what you want is when you're planing is to have those perfectly consistent shavings.